السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. حياكم الله مرة أخرى في ستارفيلد. نواصل رحلة البحث عن المواد اللي نحتاجها للقضاء على عدو البشرية القديم الذي عاد مرة أخرى.
All set on your gear? You ready to do this? Then let's get this show on the road. Kaiser? Percival, everything green on your ends?
I am ready. Personal comm should be routed through Kaiser now. You copy that?
Roger, loud and clear.
Perhaps too loud. Oh, you're a riot robot.
Kaiser, kick it off.
Unlock code transmitted. You may open the gate when ready.
All right. On our way into the city. Percival, where are we heading?
Running the first sweep. Got one. The Sealies. Not far. Old shipping yard just past the processing plant. Gene samples are probably in one of the containers.
That creature. It's dominated. Must be a morph nearby, keeping it under its sway. Let's put it down. 4 of them. Clean them up.
Come then, meet your death.
Your shipping yard's just beyond the processing plant. Cache with some goodies is towards the rear of the facility.
Kaiser, close enough for you to dial in the location of those samples from here?
Yes, they're faint, but I'm detecting multiple valid signatures. I have restored power to the containers.
Jackpot! Get down there and collect as many as you can.
Smurfs! Open fire!
Our fatal injury sustained. You'll have to try again. All Asili's samples collected.
All right. Now hand those over to Kaiser, and let's get out of here.
New fault detected. Correcting. Samples secure.
Nice work. Now, earlier scan picked up a valid Terramorph sample, but, well, it's in the spaceport. And the quick route there looks like it got blasted when the port did.
There are steam tunnels under the city, which will allow us to access the spaceport.
What do you... That's right. Kaiser, how did you know that?
I am not sure.
Percival, you see any better option?
Not from where I'm standing.
Then we've got our answer.
Access unlocked. We may proceed.
Goodbye.
Kaiser, this flora, this is Lazarus plant, isn't it?
Confirmed.
You know, no one even realized it was a living thing until someone got it under a microscope and saw it had cells. Can't be cultivated anywhere but Londinian. A real marvel. All these leeches. What's keeping you things warm?
I think you may be trying to take a little too much on. Literally. Yes.
What?
Goodbye.
My God. Look at it. A Lazarus in bloom. You know, we might be some of the only... What's happening? Captain, have you seen this?
ايش السحر هذا؟
The heat leeches are terramorphs.
But heat leeches infest every settlement, every corner of the settled systems. That means that every single one... Oh no.
You just saw that, right? You would tell me if I was losing my mind. That heat leech became a terramorph. The pests that have snuck onto every planet are baby terramorphs. Heat leeches hide out in ships, sneak away after landing, and then
أقدر أقول إني كنت
with time,
متوقعها.
they transform. We just found out how terramorphs move between planets. That I don't have an answer for, right? But if they share a genome, like most nymphs and adults do, the microbe should have no problem dealing with heat leeches and terramorphs. The Aciles we'll have to look into. But given what we know about the creatures, I wouldn't be shocked to find that they've got an appetite for both. Pretty Major is right. But if what we just saw, if that's possible, the Lazarus plant, it's clearly an accelerant for the terramorph, a heat leech transformation process. Make one into the other. But that means if anyone knew about this, you could sneak a leech into a city, or even multiple leeches. Good God. The attack on New Atlantis, could someone have set that up?
بعد عندي إحساس إنه يمكن أبوش اللي سوى كذا بطريقة أو بأخرى.
But first, you'd have to know the truth about all this.
Well, we're never gonna know if you don't catch that thing. Get after it.
We may proceed.
Go!
Beginning analysis. It is a match. This suggests with high certainty that the Lazarus plant was used to trigger the attacks on both planets.
There's no way a plant this rare, this fragile, just shows up here, New Atlantis, and Tau Ceti. The transformations on those worlds, they must have been triggered by human hands. Captain, do you understand what it is we just stumbled on here?
نعم.
Exactly. Someone saw the Lazarus plant in action and used it to trigger the attacks.
I wonder where they could have gotten such an idea.
تتكلمين من بالضبط؟
Alien life forms as weapons.
I wouldn't be shocked
هذه
to
قطة
find out our team
بطريقة غير
in
مباشرة.
part inspired the approach, but our group never dealt with something that could have an effect like this. Makes some sense, actually. Tau Ceti was likely their first test, someplace remote where no one would question a few settlers going missing. ensure the big show, the attack on New Atlantis, would be a success. And the timing of that one. It couldn't have been just luck that it happened right when we were asking the cabinet to do something about the terramorphs. These attacks. I think someone planned them to set all this in motion. It can't. At least, I didn't think it could. But maybe if we're right about this, someone bound away. They certainly were. But having this answer, well, it raises a couple big questions. Who could pull something like this off? And why?
Let's save the discussion for when you all aren't standing in the universe's closest equivalent to hell frozen over. If we're gonna do anything to prevent more terramorph attacks, human cause or otherwise, we need that final sample.
ايش زعل
Roger
هذا؟
that. Kaiser, get us into the spaceport.
The entrance is this way. Sufficient power to the lock mechanism.
Anyone got ideas where we could get some extra juice?
Local power looks like it was controlled in the security office. Upper floor.
Captain and I can scout it out. Kaiser, see if you can't find another way to get it open.
Roger that. I have restored power to the office entrance. You may proceed.
There's the control panel. Still looks operable. Of all the things to
اهم شيء كلهم ناطريني ارفع شغل الكهرباء. مم. أظن هذا كيف.
Warning. Priority safety concern detected. Exterior hatch power restored.
Back in business.
Warning. Emergency recorder message detected. Transcription process engaged. Playback initiated.
Admiral Sanon, we need to make the evacuation request.
That's my father he's addressing. He was here? Didn't think he'd have the guts to look those soldiers in the eye before blowing this place to pieces.
Admiral!
It just transformed. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe. Colonel, the troops that closed off the sewers after my evaluation, they're all in this facility.
Other than our casualties, yes, sir.
Good. Get them into defensive positions around the spaceport. No one leaves. I'll send ships as soon as possible.
Thank God. None of us wanted to go down swarmed by those things.
That won't be your fate, Colonel. You have my word.
Transcription complete. Physical copy available.
An invisible weapon. He knew about the Lazarus plant. Grab that recording. We should talk.
لا زال هو المرشح الأول للخيانة رغم أنه وطني زيادة.
Hey Victus, he destroyed this place. Killed these people to keep what he knew about the Lazarus plant and the Terramorphs and all this a secret. Didn't he? He saw the potential of the plant as a weapon and hid it away. He killed those people. Condemned this city to keep them from sharing what they might have seen. He was Yes.
تبيني أكملش يعني الكلام؟
Exactly what we all thought he was. But I guess that's just another part of his sick legacy now. He thought he was protecting us all, taking the secret to his grave. Only he didn't succeed. Now someone else knows about the Lazarus plant and is using it exactly how he feared. systems are counting on us. Kaiser, try it now.
Guys, your sample, it moved. I'd be real careful out there if I were you.
Sound good. Eyes peeled.
I also wish to be prepared for any situation, but there are practical limits, no?
Kaiser, we're done. All wrapped up. Time to get the hell out of here. Percival, you should unplug and find somewhere we can talk. Privately.
On it. See you soon.
خلونا نمشي. عليك انت ايش قاعد تقاتلهم؟
Look at all of you, back from the underworld. Got pretty frantic on the comms towards the end there, but it sounded like this was a success. Got everything we need to put this plan in motion. Ah, best place for them. Now, my connection might have gotten a bit fuzzy there, but do I have it right that Victus knew about this damn plant?
That's what it sounded like.
Guess the old admiral must have told someone what he learned. Even he's not clever enough to pull off an attack like that from the great beyond. That's putting it lightly.
But it's clear someone knows about the plant and realized what ends it could be put towards. Captain, we need to get these samples back to the lab and verify we'll be able to handle cleaning up the leeches as well as the terramorphs. But in the interim, do you think you could look into what we uncovered? See if you can turn up any information on who might have committed the attacks?
If it were me, I'd start at the scene of the crime. New Atlantis.
طبعا اقدر اقول لكم من اللي
Thank you,
سواه
Captain.
بس
Once you finish your
موضوع سري.
investigation, we'll meet you outside the cabinet chambers. They're gonna want to hear this. Take care of yourself. No telling who might be involved.
Good day, Captain.
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Okay.
What did you need?
Another day, another credit.
الحين صار تحت يا اخي قسم بالله ذولا اغبياء. نعرف ان المصعد هنا.
news then. So, what exactly are you doing here? Plenty still to be done in defeating the Terramorphs, no? Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong conclusions. After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attacks. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us.
يبين يكذب بعد.
You know, you're far more clever than I expected. You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti.
يا أخي واضحة واضحة.
My doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I. Figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian. Learning to synthesize it.
للأسف أنك فقدت
Now,
وطنيتك
being as clever as you are,
بطولاتك.
I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing. All in due time. First, I want to see if you're truly as astute as you appear. So why would someone like me go through all this trouble?
عشان يطلعونك لأنك البطل.
You couldn't be more right. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's Terramorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential. These were the final days of the colony war, Captain. The Freestar Collective had spies everywhere. I was concerned that if word got out, the Collective could swoop down, start breeding Lazarus plants, and overrun our worlds with waves of Terramorphs. Just like what was happening on Londinian at that very moment. It was the only option that made sense. Simple to say now, but with the outbreak raging from a barely understood source, the moment demanded quick action. So I did what was required. I removed the dangerous variable from an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You.
الرليس هذا اللي أنا هاجمته في سفينته وذبح نفسه في النهاية.
It wasn't easy. But the beauty of being loathed is that people, they wanted to pretend I didn't exist. And so still, establishing a back channel to Orlays via the UC recovery teams was painstaking work. They believed they were luring in wanted criminals, but were in fact delivering precisely encoded slates, filled with instructions invisible to any but their recipient, dropped off at just the right moments to fall into the proper hands. All without the UC real. Slow work. Captain, please. You've benefited here as much as I have. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your
ما قصرت بس الحين لازم تموت.
And look at the results. I know for a fact the cabinet isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity. Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard, with only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a... You're being honored only because I arranged the situations where it could happen. Be grateful. And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the terramorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine. I've already sent along the evidence of Orlays' role in the attacks to the cabinet, leaving out my own involvement. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlays and Orlays alone. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together.
يبي يستغلني بس خلاص هذه نهايتك.
That is a pity, Captain. But I'm in no position to negotiate. Just think about the opportunity I've provided.
لم يخلص علينا خلاص.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay here.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the acyles are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Any leads on who might have committed the attacks? Do what you have.
ما أدري أقول لها ولا خلنا نشوف هذيك الغبية الثانية.
Just remember, Captain, the name of the game is good luck on your endeavors.
أوكي ما تبي خلاص لازم نكشف الأوراق كلها.
So.
That seems unlikely, considering he's been dust for about 20 years.
I'm sure the captain just misspoke. Right? No, that's impossible. He's gone. My father is dead.
The colony war butcher lives, unfortunately.
That's about the understatement of the century. A couple of choice four-letter words came to mind for me.
Alive. Faye Victus is alive? How did you find him? That's some impressive sleuthing. I can hardly believe it. If he was involved, then it means the cabinet can make sure he's dealt with, that nothing like this happens again. I'm sure he did, but he killed dozens of people, and I'm not about to let him get away with something like that. But now I guess we've got our answer. Nothing left to do but put it all in front of... Any last things we needed to discuss? This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision.
Microbe is gonna make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again,
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprise.
You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can...
I do know the science. I also know math, and a 1 in a million. So I guess we're still in discussion. Probably best at this point to... And here we go.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances, but according to Hadrian's report and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true?
My God.
An attack? Using Terramorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlays commit these attacks, Captain?
Orlays? It's true, ma'am. I heard the recording myself. My father figured out how to use Terramorphs as weapons.
He did what?
That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was gonna end in tragedy.
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave this room. Now, that's quite the accusation you're leveling, considering Francois Sinon has not left containment for the better part of 2 decades. You have evidence to back this up?
It just transformed. A Terramorph out of thin air. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Francois.
He knew they could do this, and said nothing.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, ma'am.
Officer, please collect that recording.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your
مبروك
pardon,
عليك
Captain.
دخلت في اللقطة.
We'll, of course, be launching a full investigation into how this could have happened. Though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject once confronted with that recording. Chief Yassine, Can you send one of your interrogators to have a little chat?
ايش
with
قصدك
the
يعني؟
Admiral?
انا ياسين فاكيد
I'll issue the order immediately.
تخصص في التعذيب.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered. Well, I don't think the United Colonies can thank you enough.
ممكن البيت
Failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Vavictus sooner. I intend to rectify that mistake immediately. That's truly disconcerting to hear. But cutting off Vavictus's contact with the outside world is likely to be just the beginning of his punishment. I'm inclined to agree, Captain. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches, the three of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President.
I'm glad you think so. So then, to our final topic. The cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also heat leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this...
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
Someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps? The technology behind the microbe is
لازم
solved
يطلعونه
in
غبي.
science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the cabinet. We were... Major,
أعطونا الحل
We've
السريع.
been having similar debates ourselves, but the captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your...
Glad to see someone's not afraid of a little applied genetics. The science division is in full agreement.
Let us hope this science division truly knows what they are doing.
Grand threats merit grand actions, and grand actions are precisely what our group does.
Order, please. And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you three the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah.
حتى الجوازات عندهم
Thank you,
درجات.
man.
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies. Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of colonial goods. And I'm told the penthouse is... You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander. To Allah, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
ممتاز. طيب مع هذه الترقية ننهي حلقتنا لهذا اليوم. نشوفكم إن شاء الله في الحلقة الجاية. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.